You can just kill ICE agents. You know that? You can just kill them. You don't have to hold your phone in their face and ask people when their birthday is and ask people what their name is and then try to find wherever they end up in Los Angeles. You can kill them. This isn't about social media clout anymore. This isn't about video. This isn't about the phone. This is about get a gun and start killing ICE agents. They are deputized corrections officers. Kill them.
Well, I guess that's one way of solving the problem, right? I mean, just go ahead and kill them. You know what's crazy and what's so scary about this as well is that like she lives in is by the looks of it, she lives in California, so she probably will not get arrested for this because we know what kind of state California is, right? They don't really enforce the law like that. So yeah, she's probably this is probably just gonna go unheard and unseen, and she's probably not gonna get arrested, even though she's clearly inciting violence, right? There's a difference between freedom of speech and freedom of speech while inciting violence, like you know what I mean. So, but yeah, like I said, she's not gonna get arrested for this. But isn't it crazy how many contradictions are here? Because like I mean, the normal liberal will tell you, "Oh, we need to get rid of guns." They'll tell you we need gun control. They'll tell you, "Oh, you know, we're not violent, right? We are not. We're the tolerant left, right?" These leftists will tell you we're the tolerant people. Everybody should be accepted as they are, right? But these people are out here doing their job, and you want to murder them. You want to kill them. You're literally telling people to go out and basically kill them, right? As if these people do not have families. Like I said, bro, once you see it's a wicked combo. And what did I say? I've said this many times on here. The white liberal woman is the most dangerous and most detrimental thing to American society. Like it's not even close, right? It's not even close. Like they are the epitome of what danger is when it comes to a society, indoctrination, and basically pushing a bunch of progressive ideologies that literally do not make any sense. And you know, that I'm telling you, that short hair, you know, nose ring, right, septum ring, that combo, immaculate, bro. Once you see that combo, you already know what time it is. Like, and listen, you already know. Listen, I don't mind being called a racist. I don't mind being called a stereotypical guy. I don't mind being called a prejudiced guy. I just call it for what it is. Once you see that, listen, stereotypes are real and they are a thing for a reason. It's because they're true and they things that tend to happen, right? So once you see that short hair, that little septum piercing, once you see that combo, and she's a white woman, you already know what time it is. Like it's not even up for debate, bro. Like so, but it's crazy. Like she's inciting violence, and because she lives in California, she's probably not gonna get arrested. She's probably just gonna go out about her day and live her life the same way. Because as we know, California doesn't really, you know, hold the law up like that.
Some people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office. And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But
people
you're the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me.
That reporter was actually forced to apologize after that interview, right? Because he was holding Kamala accountable and he was asking her questions that, you know, nobody else was willing to ask her or she had never been asked before. But I also want to say this. I don't think a lot of people understand how big of a bullet we dodged with Kamala Harris not being in office. Like I don't think a lot of people understand like the magnitude of that bullet that we dodged. And listen, in my opinion, y'all already know how I'm rocking, right? I think honestly Trump was a better candidate, right? He was the lesser of the evil because in my opinion they're both evil. Both sides are evil, right? You know, it's just crazy how they're, you know, controlled by certain people and, you know, how the government actually works. But if you had to ask me, right, I think Trump was the lesser evil. And, you know, Trump do be tweaking, right? He went into Venezuela, took it, you know, they claimed that it was to, you know, free the citizens of Venezuela, but it wasn't really to do that. It was to take the oil and to gain control of the oil because we didn't want China to get it, right? But anyways, that's besides the point. But I don't think a lot of people understand the atrocity that would have happened in this country if Kamala Harris was in office, bro. Like, I mean, you're being asked a question directly. under your administration, technically she wasn't the president, but Sleepy Joe was at the wheel. I'm pretty sure she had a hand in most of the decisions that happened, right? And she's a vice president anyway, right? 3 years into her term, right? People were saying the country was in the wrong direction. She brings up Donald Trump running for office for the last 3 years. What does that have to do with anything? That has nothing to do with anything. Like, imagine her in a meeting with Putin. Like, imagine her in a meeting with Kim Jong Un. Like, imagine her in a meeting with China's president, or like going like, bro. That I don't know, man. That's wild. I can't even imagine. Like, that's crazy. I can't even imagine. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, we dodged the magnitude of that bullet that we dodged is magnificent, bro.
In the way that I comforted my children. My ex-husband did not allow me to give them ice cream or cookies or go to fast food places, but I would sneak it to them so they could be happy. I doubled in weight and got up to over 200 pounds by the time I was 12. But as I gained more weight, my dad started to get more and more upset with me because of it. And he tried to stop me and Carlton's weight gain, but it didn't stop us from eating how we wanted. And by the time I was 13, I was over 350 pounds. And Carlton was 5 or 6 and around 200. When I was around 10, I think that's when it got to its worst with my dad. So as a family, it was at a point where we couldn't take it anymore. So my mom took us and we ran. I felt very relieved when
Hey, yo, I don't know what it is, but there's just something funny about how she said, our mom took us and we ran. Like, I don't know, something about that's bad funny. But at the end of the day, man, like, this is why having a father in the house is very important, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a textbook example as to why, right? This guy was fighting for his family. Like, he was literally fighting, clutching for his kids to be healthy, right? And the mom would not allow it. I guess the father's not in the life anymore, right? But this is exactly why fathers are needed in the home. And to be honest, when you think about it, I'm not really surprised by this, because the average weight of a black woman in America is about 187 pounds or something like that, which is a crazy number. I mean, that's just wild. The average weight being 187 pounds as a woman is, I don't even know how to explain that. And the reason why, and it might come off a little bit harsh, but like, I have no, like, not necessarily respect, right? You got to give people respect because they're human, right? You got to treat them with us in a certain way, right? But I really just can't understand, like, how can you not control, like, you control every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth, bro? Like, you that is the one of the only things in your life that you can absolutely control, like, especially like after the age of maybe like 15, 16, like bro, that you are absolutely in control of that. But yeah, man, this is a perfect example as to why fathers are important in the home. And once you remove them, it's not just the disciplinary actions, right, where the kid, is more likely to be in the penitentiary and stuff like that. But it's just simple things like these, like healthy, right? The mom is overweight, defies the dad's authority, son and daughter becomes overweight. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, according to the stats, obesity is about to be like the #1 killer, like, for Americans, or cause of death for Americans in a couple of years. Like, so this is wild right here. But yeah, man, get the fathers back in the household.